Hello, all. Good morning. I welcome you to the fifth edition of Azim Premji University's National Social Enterprise Idea Challenge. Social Enterprise Cell at Azim Premji University has been organizing Idea Challenge every year. It's the fifth time, and due to COVID, of course, we are doing it online. So the purpose behind this whole entire setup, the whole competition, is to bring people, a student, give them a chance to present their ideas, to brainstorm their ideas, think, and to propose it to the jury, to the funders and mentors to seek uh, guidance. Uh, of course, there is a token amount. We always have a token amount so that they can pursue. But it's so fascinating to see people younger than me, people of my age, coming up with such creative ideas and everything. It's so beautiful. Uh, the event act as a networking platform for young minds at the very early stage. They seek mentors and funders. This year, we are specifically focusing on COVID-19. So one of the thing was like we have a long-lasting impact of COVID-19, and it's great to see that we have so many entries for like those who were able to come to the top 8 and those who submitted, who dreamt, to come up with such ideas, such great ideas, and to pitch it as a solution to the problems caused by COVID-19. It's so epic. Today we have on our panel Ms. Annapurna Neti and Mr. Vikas Maniar as our jury member. Hello, ma'am. I welcome you. Hello, sir. I welcome you. Annapurna ma'am has been working in the areas of SME financing, microfinance, financial inclusion, and social performance management for 10 years now. She has extensive field experience in India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. She has been working with Small Industries Development Bank of India and has been a consultant to many NGOs and multiple organizations in the development sector. I welcome you, ma'am, on behalf of Social Enterprise Cell.
Thank you, Kapil. Good morning,
Uh,
everyone.
we also have Vikas sir. He is the faculty of School of Education at Azim Premji University. Prior to this, he has worked in many NGOs and corporate sector for over a decade. He continues to engage with grassroots NGOs and that take initiatives in the field of education precisely, and has been working with various marginalized social groups and public school system. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of Social Enterprise Cell.
Thank you, Kapil.
It's always overwhelming. Last year, I remember I have been following Social Enterprise Cell Idea Challenge, and we were there at Nimhans. And as I said, like we are doing this live online platform due to this COVID-19. But it's so overwhelming to see, to hear out from this young minds, their creative ideas, students of my age and even younger, because we have interest from schools too. And I really like to congratulate them for making up to the like top 8. You are one of the creative minds who do not just have entrepreneurial action in their mind, but also have this motive to bring such social impact in the society, and that's really overwhelming. I welcome team Akshat from Indian Institute of Public Health, Gandhinagar, team Enactus JMI from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi, team ELSA from Lady Sri Ram College of Women from New Delhi, the global thinkers last but not the least. These are the 4 teams in our panel. We have a simultaneous panel running on the other link. So the global thinkers are from Lekol Chempaka International School, Thiruvananthapuram. I welcome you all. I won't be wasting much of the time in the introduction as we have a very tight schedule. I just ask team Akshat to start with the presentation. But sorry. Let me go with a brief guidelines about this competition. So you will be having 10 minutes for presentation. At the last 1 minute remaining, we will be displaying a banner on the screen showing that you have just 1 minute remaining. And after that, it will be followed by a question answer session from the jury. I would ask everyone to stick to the time schedule so that we can go with the event smoothly. So yeah, that's the basic guidelines. Your timer starts the moment you start sharing your screen. So you will get a buffer time of 1 minute to do all the setup, and yeah, so that's it. Um, I would request Team Akshat from Indian Institute of Public Health to present their idea. All the best, folks. Team Akshat. Yeah.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, you are.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Shall I start? Shall I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, one morning, Miss XYZ woke up to a condition and to her normal routine, like any one of us would. And towards the end of the day, she discovered that she delivered a thalassomic baby. Whereas simultaneously in the same hospital, Mr. ABC arrived at an RTA, road traffic accident, where the case was demanding blood thinners. Now, with rapid developments and exponentially fast development in a developing country like India, in terms of cashless, paperless, with increased digitization, why should healthcare be at the setback? In order to initiate the same, the idea that has already been launched in 2017 is now there at a shift. The idea presented in 2017 was personal health record, and in 2020, amidst the pandemic, our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji launched My Health Record (MHR) in order to brace or bridge the shift between the 2017 personal health record, which was institution centric, to 2020 My Health Record, which is going to be citizen centric. Now, why it should be citizen centric? In my point of view, it is because it is to pace, like it is to maintain the, it would be a stable contributing factor towards the healthcare ecosystem. So now, rather than the medical data or the clinical data, which has been stacked up and in silos, we would be having that onto the fingertips. Now, how this will be beneficial and how it should actually work. Now, there is a certain set of suggestions which we think should be brought into the existing MHR so that we tweak out the maximum benefits out of it. Who doesn't like premium features at negligible efforts and inputs? Of course, all of us do. So now, without taking further ado, let me introduce what exactly we are planning or a hint of the same. So here we are, Team Akshat, presenting redressing of my health record. Let me bring down the entire idea in three simple points, the major changes that we are expecting. First, currently all our medical health information is scattered into bits and pieces, and that too on paper. Now, maintaining this is not an issue, but carrying it at the right time, at the right place is a major thing that we should consider. Now, MHR is solving the same, but we could make it better by letting the doctor access it directly rather than the patient sharing it. Like emergency cases like Mr. ABC would be saved in this case. Also, we would come to the filling of the same in our later part. Second, registering on MHR isn't a big deal until it is meant to touch all the individuals existing on the Indian subcontinent. We are now considering it to be as obligatory as Aadhaar card. Let me bring this into limelight that the my health record, which is voluntary, should be made obligatory and it should be linked with Aadhaar card. Why so? We will be discovering later. Now, the certain section of population which wouldn't have registered so easily on the My Health record, we will make them register. How? So this question is solved because we have decoded that if we are able to flash certain healthcare schemes that the government has made for the people belonging to economically backward classes, which do not actually go and access healthcare because of economical setbacks. Now, if they know that what exact scheme they can apply for or what they are eligible to so easily, then we can reduce the rate of death toll. Third, a small alarming system. Now, what will an alarming system do? Wouldn't it be great if we are prepared for upcoming pandemic or epidemic? Like, of course, we are doing great in terms of COVID somewhere, but then it would be out of the world if we could actually predict a pandemic or epidemic, the upcoming one. Now, let me explain this all with a small real life analogy. There's an almirah at our house, and it possesses all the funds or all the possessions that we have, and only one responsible person or a few responsible people of the entire house are able to access it. Secondly, the savings that are into our Almira are for the betterment of the family, of course. Now, having an alert system on the same will help us save from a robbery. Now, of course, it wouldn't avoid getting robbed, but it will obviously help us to be prepared for it. The same shall go in the third point, which I mentioned previously, the prediction of pandemic or epidemic. Now, with this, a certain thing that remains eternal is the collection of data. Collection of data is tremendously difficult task to accomplish in itself. But with our idea, I think that it would be very easy for us to collect initial data, which we would be revealing soon. Let's keep it aside, parked in a lot side, and think of the major implications or the major advantages that would be taking place after we have launched the redress MHR. Now, it will be acting as a universal screening tool in order to sort a certain set of population that we will be targeting. It will, of course, help us do better epidemiological studies. And during the process of collection, there will be a stage where we necessarily will be needing paramedical forces or someone who knows or has a little sense of medical terms. Why so? Because we can predict all the occupational diseases well ahead of time and we can prevent it more better. Now, a question would have arisen in your mind there, how do we manage the data? How do we transfer it from one place to other? Or how will it all be executed? Well, in this case, rather than only involving the individual and the doctor, we are going to involve fiduciaries. Focusing on fiduciaries when data exchange comes into the place would be of great help. Now, without further ado, let me sign off with one simple reflection. Death rate and death toll of a country reflects the healthcare system of the same, like of the country, and in our case, India. Wouldn't it be great if we would actually be into the limits and brace our healthcare system to the fullest? Signing off with three nominal yet very important questions: why we should use regressed HMR, how in the first place it is going to be possible, and third, when it should entirely be brought into practice. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah. Uh, Thanks, team Akshat. That was really fascinating. I would request the jury members to please proceed with the question answers round. There will be 10 minutes for the Q&A session.
Annapurna, you want to go first, or? All right. So, I'm sorry. One of the very first questions that I had while I was listening to you is, I do understand your intention of saving lives and having data available at the doctor's fingertips in emergency situations and stuff. But what happens to patient privacy? And you wanting to make it obligatory, you want to link it to Aadhaar, and you want to pick up all data from everywhere. And so what if I don't want to share? Say I have AIDS, and I don't want to share it on public records that I have AIDS. What about that? Have you thought about that situation? And if people choose to, because you said you want to make it obligatory, if people choose out of the system, would it still be a functional system?
Yes, it will surely be, because we are bringing fiduciaries into the picture here. They will actually keep the things safeguarded, like end-to-end encryption, and only the things that needs to be flashed will be. The consent from the patient before doing this will of course be taken in case of emergencies. Like I have mentioned epidemiological studies or something, and like right now the personal health record is doing the same. Like public health officials can access, but they cannot access the personal information, like who is it or what is it. But only a certain section, it will only say if it is AIDS, it will only show certain region has certain population, this percentage of population of AIDS.
So have you already done some kind of work on identifying what kind of information would be available to which kind of people, or what kind of information should be collected beyond the health record that already exists?
So we will be designing a questionnaire, a set of certain questionnaires with, of course, experienced medical or public health experts, so that we can
All
come
right.
up with.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, Annapurna.
Yeah, so I share the same concerns of the privacy, right? So that the data privacy laws in the country are not very strong, right?
Yeah.
So that is one concern. So, and what I understand is that your idea, this is going to be an add-on in the MHR app.
Yes, yes. We don't have to do anything great. It is legit doable. We just have to add some tabs into the existing portal
Okay. So
and
is
a
there a
collection
possibility?
system. Like, I'm sorry.
No. So my next question is there a possibility that if I don't want your tabs, I just want to go with the basic MHR app, that I can go ahead with it? Is that what you're thinking?
We are just suggesting that health ID or your health account should be there. Only
Okay.
this much is obligatory, nothing else. like you can have options on the existing portal. We have options for uploading prescriptions or lab reports or something like that. You can do that. If you don't want to avail the facilities we are providing, it is okay.
And where do you, so what is going to be your revenue for this? I mean, are you
Okay.
going to charge the patient? What is going to be, how are you, I mean, since it's a social enterprise, I'm assuming that there is some way that you're also trying to make money out of this, as in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand your concern. So we will be applying minimal amount, like minimal premium amount will be charged, wherein the private companies can, come and take a toll, generate the revenue. A certain percentage would be shared with the government or something like that. That is completely up to the
So when you say
private
private
industry.
companies, are you talking about advertisements or something when you get into that? I mean,
No, 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 not exactly advertisement. When it will be come to providing these facilities, we need not much. Like we don't need much of financial input for designing, but for implementation, we might need some.
okay.
So with the premium amount which the people will be paying, like even for other government schemes, people have to pay. For Ayushman Bharat, we have to pay 30 rupees, minimal amount of 30 rupees if you want to, get into the list of Ayushman Bharat. So we can charge a minimal amount, which will either come from the government to the economically backward class people, but into the enterprises account, or from the individual who can afford to pay that minimal amount themselves. I
So have
think
you
I
discussed with, anyone in the government about your ideas? Have you floated these ideas, or what stage of developing these add-ons, to be plugged into the app? What stage are you in?
we are at the very initial stage. It is just a suggestion, but it has a lot of potential and scope. So the collection is actually going to be the highlight. How are we going to collect the data, and how it is to be processed is not a big deal. It will get processed because it is digital. It will just need minimal codings and all, and then the outcomes are going to be out of the box.
Uh, can I ask, can I follow up on Annapurna's question?
Yes, sir.
What I'm still unclear about what is the value add in terms of uh, health, data that you are going to bring. So, have you thought of the kind of data that you will collect or you would like to collect over and above the MHR, and how will that be so beneficial to people in at
Yes,
public?
sir. As I mentioned, the questionnaire, it would be having genetic medical inputs, like what all diseases or ailments were there, and that can be carried on with the genetics. As I explained, Miss XYZ, she was a recessive thalassemia. She had recessive thalassemia, the pair had, but they did not consider going for genetic consultation, and hence they had to face the emotional and financial burden or pain.
So it's primarily genetics, or is it anything else as well?
Everything
Is
else,
that
everything. This is just an example. Surgery
okay?
will be included. Whatever they have spent will be included. Basic, whatever drugs they take. Is it for BP? If it is propranolol, then it is not only given for blood pressure. It is given for other things as well. So what exactly they are taking, that is the reason we will be needing a medical force for this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have any questions either. I think I have.
Thank you.
So we are up early. Thanks, Team Akshat, for the presentation. Next, I would invite Team Enactus JMI from Jamia Millia Islamia to go with their presentation. All the best, folks.
Hi, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. So you have 30 seconds at presentation. Okay, yeah. You can
Good morning,
continue with the
everyone.
presentation.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning,
Okay.
everyone. I am Marufa Sabin, and along with me is Nawaz Ahmed Khan. We are Team Enactus Jamia Millia Islamia, and together we are presenting the project Srimati. I think we can all agree when I say that this has been a difficult year for all of us. With the outbreak of COVID 19 and then the nationwide lockdowns, which continued for months, countless people were introduced to challenges this year. And one of the major challenges our country faced was of unemployment. The situation was such that it was estimated India could lose over 135 million jobs, pushing 120 million people back to poverty. In addition to this, the cases of domestic abuse have increased rampantly, as due to lockdowns, the victims of abuse found themselves stuck with their abusers at all times. Did you know that according to a report published in The Hindu, the 68-day period between March and May of 2020 recorded more cases of domestic violence as compared to the previous 10 years? The third problem we are targeting is of war against single-use plastic. The disposable masks that most of us use on a day-to-day basis are made from plastic and are designed to be used just once. So whenever these masks are discarded irresponsibly, these create enormous plastic waste, pollute water, and harm wildlife. Not only this, sanitary waste disposal has also become an increasing problem in India. This is because the material used in the most available and popularly used sanitary napkins is not biodegradable. It leads to health and environment hazard. Nearly 121 million women and adolescent girls in India use on an average 8 sanitary napkins per menstrual cycle, which translates to 1 million pads generated monthly and 12 billion pads produced and disposed annually in India alone.
After reflecting upon these problems, our team realized that the need of the hour was to devise a solution that tackles all the aforementioned issues not only concurrently but also coherently. Hence, in a pursuit to use our right entrepreneurial skills, our minds stumble across creating some sort of eco-friendly products that would not only be help the issue of environmental hazard, especially during COVID, as well as elevate the financial distress of the victims of domestic abuse. So the first product that we present to you today is a face mask made from abaca fiber, which will not only help curb the spread of coronavirus, but would also be biodegradable. Abaca is a fiber valued for its exceptional strength, flexibility, buoyancy, and resistance to damage in salt water. The mask produced out of this fiber can decompose on an average 3 months as compared to the synthetic mask that can take hundreds of years to break down. These masks are washable, reusable, and breathable. Going forward, the second product that we're pleased to introduce to you today is an eco-friendly reusable sanitary napkin. Reports suggest that on an average, a female makes use of approximately 6,000 hazardous sanitary pads in a lifetime. And comparing to this, only approx 130 reusable pads are required by females during the menstrual cycle throughout their life. While looking for a replacement for traditional pads, one raw material that caught the eye was banana fiber. Obtained from the pseudostem of banana plant, banana fiber has enhanced tensile strength and modulus, low density, strong absorption quality, and lightweight.
The raw materials needed for the preparation of these masks and sanitary napkins are easily available in the local markets of Delhi. Our team has contacted a number of suppliers from across the capital city to provide us with banana and abaca fibers. However, as the project matures, we can also obtain these fibers by getting in touch with the cultivators residing in the neighboring states of Delhi. The process involved in making of our products is fairly simple. It requires no heavy machinery. Our first product, Abaca face mask, would comprise of two layers. The first or the outer layer being the Abaca fiber sheet, the second or the inner layer being a cotton cloth. As for the sanitary napkin, there would be two main components, a shield and a liner. The final product would be sterilized using a UV sterilizer to ensure hygiene standards. These pads would come in different varieties in terms of thickness and size, giving the consumers a number of options to choose from, depending upon their menstrual flow. Our team has already started working on manufacturing the samples for our project, and currently they're under the process of being certified.
Now, coming back to our original idea of empowering women, we are pleased to announce that Enactus Jamia Millia Islamia has successfully collaborated with two renowned NGOs of India, Shakti Shalini and Mahila Housing Seva Trust. Both the organizations, having impacted the lives of more than 15,000 women, work tirelessly for the society. Having said that, you're probably wondering what our marketing channels might be. Our biodegradable face mask and reusable sanitary napkins made from love and care of a women community would be launched in both offline and online markets. Since our organization has already established niche market for itself through our various other projects, Srimati would not have to struggle on discovering a new one. We would be selling our products at local markets in and around Delhi, various e-commerce websites, social media pages, as well as our official online store of Enactus Jamia Millia Islami. The project would also receive a helping hand in sales and marketing by our partnered NGO.
Now, to get a better idea about the demand of our product among the general public, we conducted a survey and recorded the responses of people belonging to the age group of 15 to 45 years. The result of our survey highlighted that most people would rather be willing to purchase eco-friendly products in spite of them having a larger price. The graph on the screen shows the willingness of people to replace current single-use masks with biodegradable masks on a scale of 1 to 5, and at least 50% of the people are willing to use biodegradable masks. As for the sanitary napkin, our survey revealed that most consumers were biased towards eco-friendly sanitary napkin and were extremely interested in trying out reusable ones. Aside from this, more than 80% participants also responded in favor of supporting local businesses instead of well-established ones. This perception also supports the Vocal for Local campaign and promotes a vision of an Atmanirbhar Bharat.
So on the screen, you can see the budget of our project. We hope to raise the money to cover the initial expenditure required to set up the project through fundraising events and business idea competitions like this. Fundraising events will be conducted with the help of our partnering NGOs. In our project Srimati, we can ensure sustainability of three essential constituents. This include environmental, business, and community sustainability. For environmental sustainability, the use of eco-friendly products would lead to a reduction in the amount of plastic waste. Our team endeavors to make sure that the raw materials would be used efficiently in the manufacturing process. Not only this, the packaging of our products would be done in blue wrap, as we already do in our other established projects. This would further strengthen our position in prioritizing the environment. For business sustainability, it will be maintained through creating high demands for the products in the market while simultaneously analyzing market trends as well as consumer needs. We seek to innovate and make a wider range of safe and sustainable products as per the comfort and requirement of its end user. The amount earned through sales of our products would be reinvested back into the community in the business for its expansion and income for the community, of course. Now, to talk about community sustainability, it is important to note that we believe in making the community self-sufficient. The women, already familiar with the manufacturing process, would also be taught about the aspects of business development, marketing, logistics, and promotion.
The objective of developing Project Srimati was to help the victims of domestic abuse and to enable them to stand on their own feet. When a project will be executed, it will not only assist in uplifting women and providing them with financial stability, but it will also provide economic support to their families and have an equal participation in decision making in their household. Now, when it comes to the rising plastic waste, most of the disposable masks and sanitary napkins used by a large number of consumers are dumped in the landfills, which take up to 450 years to degrade. Srimati contributes to relieving the burden of such waste that is plaguing the planet and contributes a more eco-conscious mindset among its inhabitants. Moreover, through our project, when one woman starts using reusable pad, she would minimize generating 125 kilograms worth of sanitary waste generated during her whole menstruating years. While most of us are concerned with the best sanitary pads to be used in the market, what happens once they are disposed of never comes to our mind. The pie chart on the screen shows the distribution of how the sanitary waste is disposed in India. According to a report, a year's worth of disposable product can leave a carbon footprint of 5.3 kg of CO2. Hence, even if 10 women are using a reusable pad within 2 years, they can help in reduction of carbon footprint of 106 kg of CO2. Not only this, our project successfully targets 7 out of 17 sustainable development goals. With the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, it has surely taken us human beings closer to our Mother Earth, and has prompted us to adopt an eco friendly lifestyle. Therefore, we can say without a shadow of doubt that the demand of our products is going to increase over time in the market as people make ecologically sound decisions. And as that happens, Srimati is set to become stronger, attributing to its infallible design, feasibility, and scalability.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks for the presentation. Yes, I would request the jury members to proceed with the questions and answer rounds. It's all
Now,
yours.
Marufa, thank you for a very well thought out presentation. I think,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, you have covered many aspects of what we look for in this kind of presentation. So, so I have one question. One is, what is the role of the women who have been subject to domestic abuse? I mean, are you looking at them as employees of this project Enactus, uh, or are they, you know, are they partners in this entire initiative? What is it that is not very clear to me?
Okay, so ma'am, we have divided our project in 4 stages. And in the initial stage, we have collaborated with two of the NGOs, which we mentioned, Shakti Shalini and Al Khair Foundation. Both the NGOs were exclusively with the women suffering from the issue of domestic violence. So target community, they are working with our target community. So in the first stage, we will be teaching them about the manufacturing process, which is very easy, requires no heavy machinery, and we can be done with our hands. Also, they are already learning how to stitch. The partnered NGOs are already teaching them the stitching and the process of sewing, वगैरह. So they are already well versed with stitching. So they do not require any extra skill. So we have, as I already mentioned, we have divided the project in stages. So our project is still in the first stage, and in the later stages, what we aim is to make the community self-sufficient. We will identify a leader within our community, and will teach them the aspects of business development, promotions, logistic, how to take the raw material, how to sell the product, how to market it, how to take reviews from your customers and develop the product according to them. And then that is our exit strategy. Like, we have to make them self-sufficient, and then we will take exit from our project.
So once you know the product is more established, and do you plan to start an enterprise in which the women are partners, or something like you know, community-owned institution kind of a thing?
Yeah, yeah,
Is that
sure,
what
sure,
you're
sure.
trying to?
Yeah, ma'am. We are planning to do that. Initially, we will hire only 6 to 7 women, and as the demand will increase, we will include more number of women, and the existing women will teach the new women how the manufacturing process and all the stuff. And as the final stages of our project will come close, so we are planning to like register enterprise and like do all the legal stuff for them.
Okay. And how long do you think it will take before you can exit?
I
And
think it
for
will
this,
take.
what should I conclude?
Okay, so I think it will take around an year to uh, go for the exit strategy.
Okay. Yeah. And one more question, and over to you, Vikas, after that. So, did you get this tested, this banana fiber or the abaca fiber, in terms of, if you're saying that is going to be used for, you know, as sanitary pads?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, is it suitable for use as sanitary pads? Any kind of, you know, whatever energy, that you know, absorbency, or whatever it is,
Yeah, ma'am.
that one looks for.
Yeah, ma'am. So, ma'am, there are
And
online. Yeah, there are research available that banana fiber is one of the most super absorbent material, naturally occurring super absorbent material. I would like to show you the banana fiber as well. This is the banana fiber that we are using, and this is the abaca fiber which we are using for the mask. Uh, these are the banana fiber sheet which we are using in the sanitary pads, and we ourselves has also done some experiments to like conclude its absorbent power, and there are also researches for it to like they are also concluding that the banana fiber is one of the most super absorbent naturally occurring material. And this is the sanitary pad that we have made. This is the first sample. This is the liner. This is the liner, and this is the shield which we have made. And for the mask, this is the mask that we have first produced. It has a cotton covering on both its side, and in between it has a sheet of abaca fiber.
We will get a product certified as well, ma'am. They're under the
And
process.
for okay, and for the abaca fiber is from the family of banana fiber only, and is one of the strongest naturally occurring polymer. Like it's as strong as any synthetic polymer available in the market. So there were some studies in the Science and Technology Department of Philippines, and they concluded they actually did an experiment on the absorption power of the abaca. They were also trying to make the mask from abaca fiber because it's very widely available there. So they concluded that the surgical mask and the cotton mask only absorb 0.17% of the water droplets. In comparison to this, the abaca mask absorb 3 to 4% of the water droplets present on its surface, which is in the safe range which are released by the WHO. It's safe for the use, and it's very good alternate for the cotton and the synthetic mask.
Okay, thank you. Vikas, over to you.
Yeah, I would also like to congratulate you for a very good presentation.
Thank you.
My questions extend what Annapurna had asked. One or two things. One is, have you piloted this? Because I'm sure there are issues, unforeseen issues that will come. One
Yeah.
thing is, sanitary pads. I can think of the convenience factor, right? It is so easy to dispose. It's not
Yeah.
messy. Whereas one of the things that reusable pads face is to be able to deal with menstrual blood and having to so the messiness comes as an issue. Yeah, and the other thing that I'm worried about, or not worried about, I just want to know what you think about it, is this thing of what is unique that you're doing. Is this an idea that will sustain and make you sustainable, or is it an idea that can be easily copied? And are you okay with this?
Okay. So for the first part of your question, the sanitary pads and the mask that we have made now is like the first prototype that we have made. We will do experiments. We will hire
Okay.
volunteers and we'll give them we will take reviews from them, and we will then develop the final product. This is not the final product that we are showing to you. This is just the prototype. Okay,
Okay.
and the same goes for the mask. And for the second part of the question, for the feasibility of it, one question that was in our mind was that if the vaccine is on its way, and if the vaccine comes, will the people will be using mask or not? So we researched about it, and uh, we found reports released by various vaccine making companies only, all the major vaccine manufacturing companies, and they all concluded that the vaccine is only going to immune the people from the virus. They're not going to stop the transmission. So the mask is going to stay for approx 1 or 2 more years to stop the transmission. You have to use mask even if you are vaccinated. And for the sanitary pad, there is a change in the mindset of people to use more eco-friendly products, because the disposable pads, when burned, release dioxins. They are not good for the skin, and as we said in our presentation also, if a woman is using disposable pads, she will require 6,000 disposable pads in her lifetime. That's translate to about 75,000 rupees in her whole lifetime. And for our
Nawaz,
reusable pads, yeah,
can I stop you? My question
yeah,
was not that, since we just have 1 minute. My
yeah,
question was, what stops anybody else from doing what you're doing? And are you okay with it? Because if other people start replicating what you do,
yeah,
one hopes that you become very successful in you know getting this product used by a lot of people.
yeah, yeah.
What stops from other people from copying you? Because there is nothing nothing preventing others from copying. And are you okay with the idea, or have you got something that will you know
So,
prevent others from?
okay, so the idea is very effective, but the process is very easy, and the raw materials are also very widely available.
Exactly.
So there are chances that the idea can be copied, and we are like fine with it, because if
Okay, good.
people are making these kind of products and using it, so our main objective is to like change their way of living, like to stop the plastic waste consumption and to give them a healthy life. If someone else is also doing this, we are fine with it.
Okay,
Like if
good.
someone else actually does copy, then we'd also make sure that we include some unique element in our product that makes it stands out from rest of the products.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yes, sir.
Makes sense. Yeah. All right. Annapurna, do you have anything else? I'm done. Yeah. We're anyway out of time, so.
Yeah, we're out of time, but just the last
Yeah.
question. So, how do these products stand in comparison with other similar products in terms of
In
cost?
terms of cost, okay, Marufa, do you want to
Cost.
like
Have
explain
you
this?
done?
Actually, we're a not-for-profit organization. So whatever the profit margin that is kept would be kept in mind enough to generate revenues for the further production and expansion and the communities women. So
Wonderful.
yes, ma'am.
Let me interrupt you. I'm not talking about your own profits. I'm talking about, let us say, if a one reusable pad in the market, that the options that are available currently cost 30 rupees, what would yours be? I just want to see,
Okay,
like,
okay,
for
okay.
people to the cost comparison also
From
will
the
be there in
current
people's mind.
the cost that is in the market for the reusable right now is above 100 rupees. So ours would be around that area, so that it is even like cost friendly for the people so that they can afford it.
Okay, okay, that's right. Thank you. We don't
Thank
have
you.
any more
Thank you,
questions.
ma'am.
Thank you, thank you.
It exceeded time, but it was really enlightening. Thanks for the presentation, people. Uh, I would like to invite the next team, Deepika and from Team ELSA and Krati from Team ELSA. You can start with the
Thank
presentation. Please continue with the setup.
Yep.
So Team ELSA is from Lady Sri Ram College of Women, New Delhi. All the best,
Is my
guys.
screen visible?
No, not yet. Wait. Yeah, it's visible
Okay.
now, but not the PPT. Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. Good morning, everyone. This is Krati Gupta. And this is Deepika Chaudhary. We are here, members of Team ELSA, to represent our idea, Relive, a one stop solution for mental wellness. This period of lockdown and COVID situation wasn't easy for any of us, be it a student, a homemaker, a working professional, or even entrepreneurs. Everyone was equally tensed. Even our connectivity mediums, the social media and the news channels, weren't even positive. The social media and news channels regularly highlighted a certain topic, which were what impact did lockdown had on this mental health situation. We knew that COVID had a drastic change in the way of thinking of people about mental health and what issues were they facing. We wanted to know we wanted to know the situation of people and what are the kinds of problems they are facing with their mental health. We needed to find out. But before that, we conducted a survey.
We conducted a survey of 100 plus students, and these were the results.
The survey conducted 70% of the population belonging to the age group 19 to 22 years, 14% of the 14% of the sample belonging to the age group 23 to 29 years, and 13% to the age group 13 to 18 years.
We also researched what impact did COVID-19 had on people. 42% people were not sure if COVID-19 had a negative or a positive impact, while 29% stated that COVID-19 had a negative influence on their mental health.
We also wanted to find out the reason for the stress. The major reason which came out to be irregular routine of people, job loss, health issues and expenses, and even financial crisis.
The candidates opted for the following solutions to lessen their anxiety. First, motivational talk session. Second, good routine. Third, exercise. And fourth, resources for online education.
Now, what is Relive? What is Relive app exactly and how would it help people? Let's find out.
Relive. Relive is like a virtual friend who would listen to you and act on your concerns with patience. Relive will not only provide mental support to people, but also will bring to them the best possible solutions to their problems.
Now, let's look at the general features of the app which are derived from a survey directly.
Thought of the day: positive stories on one swipe. Confession column: they can say their mind without any judging. Meditation brings peace to mind. Workout section: as recommended in our survey. Recreational activities for people to use their time in a constructive manner. Trackers: the app will track your mood, sleeping habit, eating habit, etc., and will prevent people from indulging in unhealthy habits. Playlists: it's a noted fact that music soothes the soul. Will also connect people or people who need help to psychiatrists or psychologists for mental help.
Now, Relive has also to offer a few distinct features that will make us outstand from our competitors. The first thing, toolkit, and the second thing, subscription. In the toolkit, Relive will offer job opportunities. We will tie up with recruiters to bring all the available job opportunities to users on a single platform. Self assessment reports. These reports will give insights about how a user has been doing via evaluating the confession column and the other activities. Anxiety management training. Trainers will provide training for anxiety management so that the user can alter the thinking process. Joining local groups. Local group will help our user to connect with the people of common interest. Now, few features which subscription has to offer. Call feature for communities. We will let our users stay connected with people of same interest, that too on call. One-on-one session with trendy counselors. Sessions with top counselors would be given for professional advices. Offers and coupon codes would be given. Medicine delivery at the doorstep. Delivery of medicines will be facilitated by Relive. Benefits for loyal customers. Free passes for every offline event would be given.
Let's see how the Relive app looks. Now, you'd like to know, why is our app feasible? How will it sustain in the market? We have a huge number of opportunities, a vast market with people from all age groups. Due to lockdown, there has been a behavioral change and people have adapted to gadgets and digital platforms. There has been an increased awareness about mental health. Our target group: All the features of app are not restricted to any age group, but our prime focus is on the people of age 20 to 30. We focus on middle class and lower middle class, which is obviously a pretty large segment for India. Our future endeavors: e-commerce setup for delivery of medicines prescribed by a psychiatrist will focus on generic medicines to lower the cost and make medicines affordable for all. Our platform will promote psychology as a career, and it will also promote online resources to students at affordable rates. Our platform will fulfill the purpose for B2B as well as B2C. It will create job opportunities for users and a wider audience for our trainers. Our financials: we say that within 2 years, we'll be able to cover the initial investment and the annual maintenance cost of this app. Over to you, Deepika.
Yeah. Let's discuss the social impact of Relive. Why would it suit the society? After making the prototype of the application, we sent it to 12 people. 90% of the people thought that this would definitely help them in order to reduce their mental stress on a daily basis. Majority of the people loved personalized toolkit feature, positive thought feature, confession column, music playlist, and the meditation playlist. Almost 50% of the people would be happy to pay a very minimal cost for the premium features of the app. Relive has Relive has the agenda to prioritize customer experience because we care for them.
The whole motive of Relive is to rekindle hope in people's lives. Relive is a virtual friend, not only during COVID times, but also a companion for life. We say that Relive is COVID के बाद भी and COVID के साथ भी.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the presentation, guys. We can proceed for the question answer round. It's all up to you, sir and ma'am.
Okay, I just while listening to your presentation, I was wondering how is an app with thought of the day, motivational videos and stuff very different from many of the apps that are already available to download on Android platforms. I could go to my Play Store and download a similar app, and why would and some of them are free. So why would somebody go for a Relive app? What
Okay.
is it that is different and unique and useful about your app, which is not there in others?
Okay. So basically, what we tried to did in our survey, we tried to exaggerate the pointers why people are facing mental stress. Suppose if a person is facing mental stress due to job loss, we will provide personalized toolkit feature. In that feature, he will be or she will be given with job opportunities so that he can
He
has
can
access to that.
Sure.
he can have
Yeah.
access to other opportunities, and we also asked for the solutions that people want, so we didn't put any unnecessary solutions in it. And we also have other features like job opportunities, psychiatrist counseling, etc., etc., and we don't interfere. And one more feature is that we don't interfere with the psychiatrist counseling, because in other apps there's a thing like they will fix the time to half an hour or something, so we don't interfere in it. We like it's we are just a link between the two. That's one feature. Second, the other features like call to your buddy or local group chats, etc., really help people to open up. They can talk about their problem to someone who really understands it, right? To the counselors or someone who's actually going through the problem. And we have a rewarding section also, like we'll provide rewards to people who perform well, etc. So I think that's something which will really which people will really like about our app, and that will keep us apart from
And how
others.
do you think people will pick up the app just by putting it on an app store, or how would
Uh,
you promote the
so
usage?
So we'll be doing the marketing. We'll be doing Instagram marketing, Facebook marketing, etc. We'll be doing that, and we'll also be hiring influencers who can who can help us reach out to people.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks. Over to you, Anna.
Thank you, sir.
So, yeah, same thing as there are so many apps for mental well-being. I'm still not very convinced that having a feature like, suggesting jobs or something is going to really make people want to become users of your app. So, what could be other
Annapurna, if you can speak up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you're not audible, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to know that, yeah, the number of, I mean, what other features have you thought of? Because there are so many. For those who want meditation, there are apps for meditation. For those who want whatever counseling, there are apps for that. And we have something like Practo, which will definitely connect to therapists and so on. So, and I'm not very sure how this offering, jobs. So you are actually bringing on one hand something like an online portal or an app for jobs with something for mental health. So I don't actually see these two gelling really well together because I mean people who are looking for jobs are not in a particular sector or in a particular industry or whatever. It is going to be all over, right? Any sector and so on. So I'm not actually. I mean, what other distinguishing features does your app have?
Sure, ma'am. Uh, Ma'am, first of all, the job app feature we have put in there so that the recruiters can advertise on our app and then the people can link, because one of the reasons why people were so stressed was because of job loss. And like we are mainly focusing through our app to help reduce people's mental stress, anxiety, and the people who are actually having mental problems, they will directly connect with the counselors. So we're trying to help people with that. Second, the feature that to retain our audience so that they do not leave us is the e-commerce delivery thing that we will deliver. We are planning in future like to deliver medicines related to psychiatrists, means related to psychology, which will be prescribed by a psychiatrist at minimal cost. We are focusing on we will focus on generic medicines so that the cost lowers, and in that way this whole app will become a one-stop solution. Like people will be able to get medicines, they'll be able to get like small therapies through our app, they'll also be able to reach out to counselors, and they'll also get like videos from trainers, now trainers, recreational activities. They can just spend people who have a lot of time but unable to use it. So there are a lot of features in just one app. So that's one of our USPs. And we are also planning to introduce online resources for students to take up psychology as a career. So that will also add on that, and I think that will just make this platform a one compact space for it. And that will really help us engage with people and not leave our platform or choose any other one. Moreover, will be marketing it uh, through influencers or the TV to ads, etc.
Haven't you, yeah, okay. Now you said that your future endeavor is to also see that the medicines are delivered home. Haven't you ensured that there is no misuse of these medicines?
So the count.
Like antidepressants and all, whatever is used. I mean, they do have side effects and people could get used to that. How is that going to be? Have you thought about that?
So, ma'am, we'll only deliver the medicine when the prescription will be given by the counselor to us. Like we'll ask the so the thing will be like, once the user and the and the counselor have had a meeting, and then they want the medicines. So if the user comes to us for medicines, we'll ask for the prescription from the from the user, and we'll cross check it with the counselor that they have given the prescription or not, and then only we'll provide it. And the number of times the the user comes to us for medicine, we'll always cross check it with the counselor once, so that there is like as you said, there's no misuse. So that's what we were thinking of it. And for people who may get side effects or may get addicted to it, may you misuse it, I think that can be done with our app and without our app.
And
I
also we
think I
can
made, yeah.
also we can keep a check on counselors or psychiatrists to give them a certain details that these please avoid these medicines, since misuse of these medicines can be done. So we can keep a check on the type of medicines which are given.
Moreover, will ask the users to rate these the psychologists, the counselors. So I don't think any counselor will like to have a negative rating or anything.
Are you familiar with any such apps for mental health, not in the Indian context but abroad, that have been successful, which
Yes.
kind of provide end-to-end? I'm not leaving the job part aside, but the other end-to-end kind of solutions. Are you aware?
Ma'am, we know about the apps that have been successful, but I don't think that they have all the features which we are giving, like all the features that we are giving. Yeah.
Okay. Vikas?
No, one of the things that, and since we are running out of time, it's just maybe an observation rather than a question, is by pitching yourself, one of the cardinal principles in marketing is to have positioning, right, and have a focused audience, and not try to be everything to everyone. You seem to be going in that direction, at least. I mean, the way I hear you, I may be wrong, but listening to your presentation, that you're trying to please too many kinds of activities or too many kinds of users. And if you had to pick one thing that you wanted to do, or one group of people, where would your app be the most useful? Just one category or one, market, so to speak.
So, like as we said, that our app is not, so app features are not restricted to any age group, but we are focusing on the age group of 20 to 30, because they are the most who use digital apps, and they'll be more comfortable paying for it as well.
Males, females, rich, poor,
And yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. So,
don't know, rural, urban. You can go on and try and see where
so
you fit. So yeah, okay. And this is just an observation. So
yeah, sure. No, so you're saying right. We are focusing main on middle class and the low middle class section, and right now our focus is more on urban people, because the rural people are not having the facilities as much right now. But as because there are being projects being taken to get the internet connection in the rural areas as well, so our focus will shift to them with time.
okay,
And
all
why
right.
would a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist want to register on your app?
Ma'am, it is like it is one more medium for them to be accessible, like to be accessible to anyone. So that's one point. Second, like all the costs of the infrastructure, etc., are being taken care by us. We are also thinking of how to take offline meetings or something for the lower middle class people, so that the cost does not hit them. And it will also be a technique for us to market our app. So, Deepika, will like to add on to anything?
Also, if we focus on our marketing strategies, and if we build a certain goodwill of the app, so I think that would be the sufficient reason that why would a psychiatrist want to register on the app.
Okay, yeah, thank you. No further.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the presentation. It was really nice to hear. Uh, we have our last presentation for the preliminary round. Like in this panel, we have a simultaneous panel. We have Lakshmi and we have Vanati from the Global Thinkers. It's really nice to see them here because this is one of the entries that we have got from school, and it's really nice to hear people this young coming up with this creative idea. I welcome you guys.
Thank you.
Please,
Thank you.
yes, I think you guys have presentation. You can continue with the PPT. You have 1 minute time to set up.
Is the presentation visible?
Not. Yes. Wait. You guys can carry on.
All right. Good morning to all the respected judges and audience. We, the global thinkers, will now be presenting our idea, the EduHub. First of all, what is EduHub? EduHub is a program that we designed that can be conducted by any non-governmental organization during a crisis such as this pandemic. It aims to rectify the problems in the educational sector that have been caused by COVID-19. Education has been one of the primary areas that the COVID-19 virus has drastically impacted over the past few months. Teachers and students alike have been finding it difficult to suddenly switch over from in-person teaching to online classes. This brings about the rise of a new issue. How will learning work for underprivileged students? Over 700 million people in India have no access to the internet and other digital resources. Our project, the EduHub, will be designed to tackle this issue of digital divide and help educate underprivileged students during this pandemic.
The main reason why we decided to center our project on education was because of the rise of student suicide due to the lack of access to online classes. Shibani Kumari, a 16-year-old class 10 student in West Bengal, was one of the students that was severely impacted by the stress of not being able to access online classes. This led to depression, and she unfortunately committed suicide. Such events were extremely heartbreaking to hear about. EduHub aspires to prevent these incidents and take care of students' mental health. As many of these students are in poverty or close to it, we have designed a scheme where, instead of requesting immediate fees, they can be repaid in the long term. This would also keep the students and their families in a more peaceful mentality. EduHub also intends to build a safe environment that students can learn in comfortably, while taking all necessary precautions against the virus. EduHub does not require a large area and does not require a ton of materials to be built. It's a very simple setup that can be easily extended across the country. EduHubs are mini centers for education, affordable by the poor. They are small indoor areas that will provide facilities for underprivileged students so that they can continue their education effectively even through the pandemic. Educational videos on multiple topics will be collected from willing students and/or teachers in nearby schools. These videos will be downloaded and presented in these hubs for these students. These videos will go through a screening in which teacher volunteers go through them to make sure that they are accurate and well explained. These videos must be up to a certain quality to be provided to students.
For students who are missing out on their online classes due to lack of facilities, we shall provide them access to their school's online classes. In addition to the facilities, the students will be supplied with eco-friendly stationeries and proper sanitation. There will be one supervisor to make sure that the hubs run smoothly, and they will ensure the students' safety and make sure they align to social distancing guidelines. This supervisor will also ensure safety of the hub and its equipment. Moreover, the hubs provide educational resources necessary for the students' future studies. How important is community involvement in this initiative? EduHub practically runs on the willingness of the community to pitch in and contribute. If more people get involved, then more awareness will be spread and the initiative will grow. For example, If one school starts encouraging its students and teacher to make videos for this cause, then it is likely that many more will follow, especially using the aid of social media. There is a possibility that schools can work together to create these learning tools as well. While it may seem that it is unlikely that we will be able to find enough volunteers for this project, this generation is actually willing to lend a helping hand to the underprivileged. This is demonstrated by the survey that we conducted.
As you can see, more than half of the surveyors were higher secondary school students and college students, and 42% were working, out of which 72% are willing to make educational videos of an average of 7.2 minutes, and 86% are willing to donate educational resources. As mentioned beforehand, people are very willing to donate to this cause. While the majority are willing to donate stationery, people are also willing to donate devices as well as sanitary products. We only came across and registered for this project around 2 weeks before submission, so our survey could only be conducted over 4 days. Even though it was a small survey, it gained around 81 responses. We will also make sure that we conduct more surveys in the future and fine-tune our approach.
What are our initial investment requirements? Our main cost is that of the battery powered projector, which will be around 4,000 rupees. Portable projection screens provided would not cost more than 5,000 rupees. This will amount to an estimated total of 9,000 rupees. Furthermore, we shall attain the permission to conduct the classes in unused areas near the slums or refugee camps from the government and pay any necessary fees. As the land value in slums are usually low, the rent cost should be affordable.
How much revenue would we get? First of all, by doing some research, we found out that the average income of an individual below the poverty line in India is 40 to 60 rupees per day. So, the estimated annual income would be around 18,250 rupees. We catered our price of our program to be 300 rupees per month to ensure that this would not heavily affect them and would be affordable. We will get additional support from other NGOs in this initiative to work towards reducing the pricing. Once we have gained traction, we will be able to buy our supplies in bulk, achieving economies of scale. As the estimated monthly cost of our program is 300 rupees for a single area and group of 5 students, for a year we will receive 15,000 rupees. The revenue that we acquire will be enough to cover rent and other overhead expenditure. This is a calculated value only for a single group of 5 students at a time. We estimate that our actual revenue for a single area will be much more, depending on the number of students that enroll and also for the number of areas that we plan to extend our initiative to.
The EduHub project does not require many resources. The biggest requirement would be the initial capital amount that is required to jumpstart the program. We plan to mobilize this by inputting our own capital as well as many donations. The educational resources will be provided to us by students from other schools, and we will also make use of the free educational content that is available on the internet. This can be mobilized fairly easily. Other physical resources such as stationery and devices will be donated to the cause by the general public. In regards to the pandemic situation, we will also be mobilizing sanitizers and masks that the public are also willing to buy and donate. Projectors and screens will be bought online and distributed to the locations.
When we were designing this project, one of our main concerns was making sure that the project was sustainable in all ways, especially on the environmental side. When implementing this, the first idea that came to mind was the use of eco-friendly stationeries, such as newspaper pencils and seed pens. These seed pens, once finished, have a seed inside of them that can be planted later on. This will greatly contribute to our environment. Furthermore, EduHubs do not produce any waste material. We also did not want the construction of such hubs to clear out any existing vegetation. So we decided that instead of building something new, we would make use of existing empty space and existing furniture. In addition to this, EduHubs choose batteries over power sockets, so the availability of power sockets in the area does not matter. Additionally, if the EduHubs are developed further, we hope that we can take yet another step and move from battery to solar powered projectors. If EduHub was to be implemented across India, then how would it be done? First of all, we would have to identify areas that EduHub is needed. Places where people are suffering from lack of learning facilities and or poverty, along with people willing to use the hub. After identifying this general area and making sure that we have willing students, we would have to find a specific building or room in which we can house our equipment. Once this is finalized, we would have to mobilize volunteers. These volunteers will include three types: students who are willing to make videos, teachers who are willing to make or screen videos, and people who will volunteer to take care of each hub and act as supervisors.
An extensive background check will have to be done on the supervisors, because the safety of the students is our first priority. Equipment will then be bought and installed. And once the setup of the hub is done and the very first EduHub is in session, we will work to spread awareness. This will be done through the media as well as encouraging schools to spread the news. As support and demand for EduHubs grow, they will be implemented where they are needed. However, there are a few challenges that we are still working through. For example, how will students have access to hygienic, safe bathrooms during these sessions? There are a few questions left unanswered, and we hope to find solutions to them.
Finally, we would like to share with you the advantages brought by EduHub if you have any concerns or doubts about the project. EduHub brings out the best in underprivileged students, like any other educational center. Who knows? Maybe the next Einstein lives in the slums or refugee camps. As mentioned before, the program could also provide essential information to the students looking forward to further studies. Moreover, all of this is affordable by those in crisis and would definitely help them move on in life, prepare for example, an important entrance examination. When we think of it from a volunteer's point of view, we can see that this project can help them as well. Would definitely develop speaking, reading, and other language skills as they prepare the videos for the EduHub students. Also, if the volunteers are students who aspire to be teachers, the video making processes definitely help them attain some experience. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. EduHub was an idea that was extremely spontaneous, and yet it was very close to our hearts once we finished it. We believe that this can be the next big idea that can change the lives of so many bright children around India. We are extremely grateful for this opportunity to present our idea. We'd like to thank everyone for listening.
Thank you, Vanati and Lakshmi, for the wonderful presentation. And what better platform than the social enterprise cell of Azim Premji University to present a project such in the field of education and all. I would like to give this opportunity of asking questions to like Annapurna ma'am and Vikas sir. So please proceed.
Yeah, go on, Vikas.
Yeah, thank you for a very good presentation. So while I was listening to you, I was wondering where would this work and to whom will it make sense? Two things, right? There's one way to look at it is who is in the most need, and then look for communities that need this the most. The other way to look at it is to say, given our capacities and our limitations, where is it that we will have the most, possibility of success? And I was wondering, what are your thoughts on either of these two? Who do you think needs it the most? Where do you think you can make it work the best? And they may not be the same communities, as I'm assuming it's possible, right? That someone might need it, but you may not be able to reach them. And so what do you think are those two?
That's true. There's definitely limitations as to where we can bring this project, but we think at first we can start small, identify areas close to us that's first needing it, and if we can gain more help, then we can obviously reach it to places farther than here. So that's how we're planning to approach it.
Sure. And who do you think needs it the most?
Needs it the most people who do not have access to internet. So that's what the main idea was, that because of this lack of internet, people are not able to, even people who don't have online classes are able to access like websites such as Khan Academy, for example. People watch videos and learn from that. But then there are people who don't have access to them, and that's who we want to help.
Sure. And a related question is, that most of your presentation was talking about what is called teaching in an asynchronous mode. You have recorded videos that are being played to students, and a teacher does that, etc. And a facilitator does that. So you don't even expect a teacher to do that. But there are most of the schools right now are having online classes, which require every student to have a device. Would your solution help them as well? And if yes, which way? Or would you not target them in the first instance?
Yeah, because like we are looking for a profit, right? So we can't afford to give all the students digital devices. That's why we brought over the idea of a single like whiteboard screen, so that we can use the projector to project the classes onto the screen, so that like maybe like 5 to 8 children can use the EduHub at an hour, and so that they can like follow the social distancing guidelines and still take the class, like attend the classes without, they don't have to own a device. They are attending the same class just like a normal class, but then it's on screen.
Okay. So you're saying these are online classes, but these kids are from the same class, and so they can all sit in one room and listen to the lecture. Oh, that didn't register. That's an interesting idea. Okay.
Yeah, and
Um,
you might be like wondering, like, are there safety guidelines? That's why we mentioned the supervisors who's gonna look after the children and
okay.
maintain the equipment.
So you're actually sharing a device in effect. Uh, yeah. Okay. That's an interesting idea. Okay. I'll come back
So
to Annapurna. Sorry.
yeah. Thank you, Lakshmi and Vanuti, for a very passionate presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So my question is, let us say, I mean, like you said, there are kids from low-income households who may not have access to devices to attend online classes. Maybe they are registered already, they're enrolled in the school, but they are unable to attend classes because of difficulties in accessing. So, would you be I mean, the material that would be shown through through this battery powered projector and all, is that something that happens in their own school, or you're just, how would you actually decide, like if there are maybe 7 or 8, let us say class 7 students, right? From where would you get that class 7 syllabus? Is it from the schools that they are enrolled in? Where is it? Where is that coming from? The
Yeah.
content
So
of
one
it.
of our ideas was, yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am. So if they already have online classes from their schools, we thought that we could give them access to their school's online school classes itself. And if that is not available, then we can use the videos that our students have prepared and other teachers have prepared.
Our students, as in?
Yeah, from our schools, like videos that students have prepared. Yes.
Okay, okay. So, which means that there will also a lot of content that needs to be developed if the schools in which these students are enrolled in don't have online classes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that probably will increase your cost.
yeah, and we were also thinking about if there's similar syllabuses. There's many schools who have a similar syllabus, so if we can get them to work with us, then we can make videos that align with their syllabus.
Okay. So, have you talked to any schools other than your own schools and your own classmates and so on? Have you talked to any other schools and trying to see if they're willing to share the content
We haven't
on
really
particular
talked to
topics?
them, but
Huh.
we haven't, sorry ma'am, we haven't talked to other schools, but we had conducted a survey in which 81 people responded, and there were students in it, and they all voted for like 7.32 minutes videos. They would, majority voted that they would make videos. All of them weren't from our school, like some were in college, some were in different schools. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what happens when COVID situation, probably, hopefully, in the next 1 year or 2 years, we are all vaccinated and there's no more online. What happens to your idea then?
We have no guarantee of the future. We don't know how long this pandemic is gonna last, and we don't know if another pandemic is gonna come in the future. So it all depends on it.
Okay. No, but have you thought about, further applications of your idea beyond COVID? And that's a serious
Yeah,
question, actually.
yeah, we thought that if we can actually use it for students to study together and could become like a platform where they can collaborate and learn more by talking to each other, it can be developed like that in the future.
Have you not thought of using Khan Academy as an existing resource? Would that work? There
Yeah,
are lectures. No?
Yeah, we had mentioned that we could use free online content also. So we can provide both videos from students, online classes, and from the online resources as well.
Okay.
And who is going to curate the content? For example, there'll be many people willing. Let us take, maybe optics and physics or something like that. There'll be many people willing to provide content, let us say. And or there are many other resources available online. So how are you going to decide, finalize, and see what is most relevant? There's a lot of time that will be consumed in doing all this.
Yeah, we thought that we could gain assistance from some of our teachers and ask them to like screen the content, tell us which topics we should provide to them. Yeah, so we would most likely ask teachers from different schools to assist us with that.
What happens when you do it for online classes and every class is running in parallel? That happens, isn't it?
Yeah, so if that happens, we can possibly have recorded classes that we can project later in case that there's a time clash. So we can do that.
Okay.
And how are you going to identify the facilitators?
They can be from a non-governmental organization, for example, MAD, Make a Difference.
Okay.
They would obviously be willing to. They always want to make a change.
So, is there some fee being paid to the facilitators?
It can go both ways. There are some people who are willing to do it without a fee, and if there is, then we have substantial revenue that we can use to pay them as well.
Vikas, any more questions?
No, I'm done. It's a very interesting way to think about it. So very happy to hear you present this idea.
So, is the Q&A done?
Yes, it's done.
We are done.
Okay. Thank you very much for the presentation. So, guys, this was the last presentation for this panel. I would like to invite Sai Kripa. She has been handling the backstage, and that she is one of the person who helped us to go through the entire event so smoothly. Thank you, Sai Kripa. It's all over to you.
Thanks, Kapil. It was fascinating to see such innovative ideas from the participants. I hope all of you had a great time listening to these ideas. Ideas can sometimes feel very simple or even very silly at times, but they really require courage and determination to think and come up with these ideas and moreover implement them. Thank you, Annapurna ma'am and Vikas sir, and all the audience and all the participants for joining us on a Saturday morning, taking time out of your schedule and joining us for this event. Thanks to the audience as well for joining us and staying with us throughout the event. The judges will be announcing the results in an hour's time. So take a break, have a snack, and come back and join us at 2 p.m. where we'll be having the final round. So goodbye to all of you till then. Thank you.
No, I think just before the closer, I would request Vikas sir and Annapurna ma'am to please give some closing words. So, to be very honest, I'm not a very early riser, but I think it was worth for me to rise 8 in the morning to go with the entire event. But it was really worth it. So, please, just like to hear both of you.
Yeah, I mean, it was fascinating, no doubt about that. And it was, I don't know whether I would have the same complaint as Kafil that I'm not an early riser. I would rise, but it was still worth my time. And no, it was good. And uh, the amount of detail that goes into, as Sai Kripa just said, it may seem silly and trivial and simple to a kind of a casual audience, but the amount of thought that has gone behind that simple idea to make it work becomes very evident in some of these presentations, and that made it really fascinating. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's very nice to see how students from so many institutes across the country think about the social problems, and they're trying to come up with solutions. So it's very nice to engage with the social enterprise idea challenge every year. I mean, I truly follow what are the kind of ideas that are coming in, and yeah, so it's very nice to engage and see that people are very conscious about the world around them. They're not just living in their own, just going to school, come back, or their own career or something, but they're also thinking about challenges, the difficulties that people face around them, and how to solve it. Very nice to be part of.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. To the audience, we are closing the event till we announce the result. But before we close, we have stories from our own alumni from Azim Premji University, different schools, School of Education, School of Development. So by the time we announce the result, please enjoy the video. Goodbye.
There are around 38 million school dropouts in our country, and 6 million children have never seen a school. A major portion of this population is children of migrant labor in cities like Bangalore. My name is Dion. I am a teacher and I work with school dropouts from migrant labor families. 2 years ago, 5 of us came together to form an alternative learning space in Bangalore, Gubachi. At Gubachi, we work with children under the age of 12 whose parents come from villages across the country to seek work in cities like Bangalore. By bridging their learning gaps, we hope the child has a better chance of continuing schooling and a better chance at life. Now coming to the individual, every student is at the center of her learning. Understanding the child and her socio-emotional background is crucial for her progress. If you notice, We have students from many different states, and that means a diversity of languages and cultures. And like me, I see children enjoy and appreciate linguistic and cultural diversity and accept people as they are. Finally, it's not just about sending the children to school. For the overall development of the child, it is essential to build a relationship with the community and parents. These communities are the most marginalized, and hence there should be conscious attempts to dialogue and engage with them. During the last 4 years, I learned what privileges are and realized how difficult it is for someone from a marginalized community to change her life situation. Experiences at my master's helped me reinforce my thoughts and beliefs, which otherwise I would have doubted. I got an opportunity to see lives of people and got inspired to try and live a life which I like. That is to live meaningfully and happily.
Thank you, guys. That was it for the first round. We will see you in the final round, in the finale, at 2 p.m. The link has been shared. You can find it in the comment box. Hope to see you there with the final presenting teams. Till then, goodbye. Signing off.